Welcome back. You're watching Viewpoint with me, Griha. Now, there is an unmistakable sense of determination in the opposition's second unity meeting in Bengaluru. Does that mean that they have finally managed to have a formidable force up against the BJP? Although between Patna, where the first opposition conclave was held, and Bengaluru, the BJP did strike twice. First, it broke the opposition's strongest link by splitting the Nationalist Congress Party in Maharashtra, leaving Maratha strongman Sharad Pawar's creation, the Mahavikas Aghadi, in tatters. And then they summoned a mega meet of an expanded National Democratic Alliance and flaunted 38 partners. Some old, some new, and some returnees. Truth is, the BJP had definitely hoped to spook the opposition and leave it stuttering for a strategy. The opposition, though, has hit back by firing two salvos, with the Congress bringing in a surprise by getting Sonia Gandhi as a symbolic figurehead of this opposition unity and then announcing India as the name for the new alliance, which of course could be read as a blowback for BJP's nationalism pitch. And as the headlines read, India versus NDA, the Prime Minister also lashed out at the alliance, calling them corrupt dynasts. Although, as they say, what's in a name? Well, apparently lots, because one leader in the opposition meet needed some convincing as the nomenclature India was discussed, and that was Nitish Kumar. The BJP did try to rein in on the opposition parade with the "Is Nitish Kumar upset?" ploy. But a denial and clarification by Kumar has nipped this controversy in the bud, at least for now. However, with senior leaders like CPIM's Brinda Karat still training their guns at their national alliance partners like the Trinamool Congress and TMC MPs jumping that gun and pitching Mamata Banerjee's name for Prime Minister, how much can India wade through these tricky topics so as not to be thrown off course? All of this will be the important question. So let's get to it on Viewpoint this evening.
टीएमसी के खिलाफ और टीएमसी की तानाशाही रुख जो बंगाल में दिखाई दिया है पूरे पंचायत के चुनाव में, जिसके आधार पर 7 लोगों की मृत्यु हुई, वो बंगाल की हकीकत है।
আমাদের নেত্রী আমাদের সিএম একজন বাঙালি যে হয়নি কখনো, তো আমরা তো চাইবো সেটা।
According to our sources from Congress, people who were inside the meeting, they have confirmed that Nitish Kumar was not happy with the deliberations in the meeting. He wanted that his name should be finalized as a convener.
राजगीर की हो रही थी ना, हमको मन था कि हम राजगीर देर हो रहा हमको, तो इसीलिए हम आ गए हैं और कोई बात नहीं है। इसलिए पूरे तौर पर हम लोग साथ हैं।
Let me open this up. Charu Pragya of the BJP joins me on the broadcast this evening. Also joining me is Arshpreet Kadyal of the Congress Party. Charu and Arshpreet, pleasure to have you both with us on the broadcast. Charu, let me begin with you. The accusation against the BJP, of course, is that the intimidatory tactics of the BJP have not really worked as far as the opposition unity is concerned. They seem to be really resolute in what their positioning is this time around.
And that is great for them, Griha. But the fact of the matter is that the opposition, what the opposition is today, has always been united. UPA had a government in power, not once but twice, and that was a government of coalition. There were many political parties that were part of it, and they are trying to pull the same thing together again. They did try it for 2019 elections as well. The fact is, not that they can come together for the meeting, but how long can they stay together? Are we already not hearing about these chinks in the armor of the so-called opposition unity? See, it's like a pack of cards. One gust of wind and all of it blows over and they are exposed for who they are. Today, these 26 parties have got 26 faces if they win to be the Prime Minister of this country. They cannot agree on anything except one thing, which is how to beat Narendra Modi. Now, that cannot be the plank on which you want to represent the people of India. Your acronym does not matter today. Even the acronym, in fact, is a page out of BJP's book. the first thing the party says is nation first, India first. Like, that's the plank on which BJP has always stood for. It stood by, and we've always been very vocal and very proud about it. So I think it just shows that the opposition has been rattled throughout. Even 26 parties coming together is not changing the essence of who they are, and it's unlikely to change. That's not going to happen. In any case, India is a thriving, brilliant democracy. I wish them all the best. May they continue with their meetings. But at the end of the day, today we have a report card to show. We have 10 years of UPA, which can be compared with 10 years of NDA. And this report card speaks for itself. It's this report card that the people of India will go by. It is the people of India who see that यहाँ नेता भी confused है, नीति इनके पास कोई है नहीं, निर्णय लेने वाला इनके पास कोई है नहीं. It's a situation which is like this बीरबल की खिचड़ी जो पकनी शुरू तो हो गई है, but पकेगी नहीं कभी. So let's wait and watch. Elections are around the corner, but already we have Nitish ji who gets upset and who leaves the meeting. We already have comments coming from TMC. The party in Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar ji's party, is already a fragmented version of what it was. Today, Aam Aadmi Party and Congress want to be comfortable with each other, but we all know the reality of how that is shaping up. And like I said, it's going to unfold like a drama series, and I've got my eyes glued to television just like everyone else.
Okay, so Arshpreet, your response to the accusation that Charu is making, considering she mentioned the 2019 alliance, what is different, what is so different this time in 2023 that the opposition uniting their forces, because after all it is a battle of perception. How do you think this time around the opposition unity can be perceived? It is going to stand that test of time, because that obvious question really remains, because these fragmented versions, there are statements that have been made by the likes of Brinda Kharat or TMC MPs who have in fact spoken not in unison. They are still talking about the regional interests first as opposed to the national interests.
Thank you very much for the question. First and foremost, there is one major difference between our opposition unity, which is India, and Bharatiya Janata Party's unity, which is NDA. The difference is we have all gathered up to save the democracy, and the NDA has gathered up to obliterate that very democracy. Number two, the opposition unity has been getting stronger by every passing day. In Patna, Bihar, around 16 parties had gathered up, and in Bangalore, more than 26 parties have gathered up, which means 10 more political parties have come to a meet, and 2 of them happen to be former BJP allies. There are parties breaking away from the faction of BJP and are joining hands with the opposition unity, because the fight here is to save our democracy that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been trying to do away with. Next is that the House of Cards that the Bharatiya Janata Party has formed on the basis of lies and false promises has already started to break. They have lost Himachal, they have lost Karnataka, and now they're going to be losing 2024 elections as well. And if the credit goes to anyone for, the entire country is united against the BJP, all the political parties and the opposition are united against the BJP, is the BJP itself and their dictatorial attitude. That is what has brought everybody together. And the Bharatiya Janata Party was, throwing these digs at us when the first meeting happened in Patna, Bihar, and they were like, you're having to do an alliance because you cannot win, and this is a sign of your weakness. If that is what your logic is, then why do you have an alliance of your own? Why don't you give up your own alliance? Why are you having to have a meet of the NDA? Either give up your double standards or you give up your alliance. Next is that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been tom-tomming. 30 plus political parties have come, to have a meeting with us. I want to ask from Charu, how many of them happen to be registered with the Election Commission of India? You'll be surprised to know. A very big number is not. Next is that an NDA leader spoke to Print and he said this exercise was wholly and solely for optics. Number 2, he said there was nothing serious that happened. No political strategy was drawn out. It was only done to praise the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi. And he said that the meeting ended with no roadmap at all whatsoever. And SAD Samyukt said it in the meeting itself, that the NDA has a trust deficit with 6. Somebody said it, but let me tell you one thing. They have a trust deficit with all the communities. They have trust deficit with all the states. and with the entire country in itself, and that's why they will be ousted.
Riya, can I come in?
Yes, I'll give you the
last
time,
word,
Charu.
please. May I have the last one?
Yeah.
Please. So the Bharatiya Janata Party, I want to ask them this one thing. You have been making tall claims. You have been making big promises. 2014 ke promises to deliver kar lo. 15 lakhs would be given. They have taken away our money. 2 crore jobs a year would be given. They have snatched away our jobs. We'll double farmers' income. They have decreased their income. We'll decrease the price of diesel, petrol, dal, dahi, doodh, paneer and whatnot. Everything has increased. Tomatoes have gone 150 plus. The ticket fare has gone so up. The value of rupee compared to dollar has gone down. And then they say it's not really the rupee, that's being weakened. It's the dollar that's being strengthened. So the Bharatiya Janata Party would be made accountable for all their wrongs, for all their lies, and for all their false promises that they've made and done in these 9 long years.
So Charu,
and they'll be ousted.
once the National Democratic
can I
Alliance,
respond?
once that mega meet was really announced, this was the accusation that the BJP should have been ready for, that would come their way. That why, for a party that used to pitch itself that they are going to be fighting alone, Modi ji ka naam hi kafi hai, why did they need the alliance partners to go ahead and join them? Many of them, there are claims that many of them in fact have joined them under duress because they are not left with any other chance. And the other point that Ashpreet made, that most of these parties, the new ones, at least the 8 of them, do not even have Lok Sabha MPs there in the parliament. So how important are these smaller parties for the BJP, considering BJP is in fact has had this rapport of not keeping allies happy?
No, that's first of all, this is a narrative which is floated around by the opposition party. I would like to remind everyone that whether it was 2014 or 2019, BJP's alliance partners were treated very respectfully. They were given ministerial berths. They were given a seat sharing on the way that everyone saw fit. Now, we can discuss seat sharing about this so-called I.N.D.I.A alliance also. I'm not sure how Congress is planning to take that ahead, because from what I understand, the regional parties are still far more powerful than the national Congress, the grand old party, is ever going to be. So I'm not sure, would Rahul ji be happy if his party is contesting 25-30 seats in the entire country? I'm not sure how that goes. Ashpreet also talks about saving democracy. Are you saving democracy with Mamta Didi? You only have accused her of killing democracy in Bengal. Are you saving democracy with Kejriwal ji? You have called him an anarchist time and time again with debates that you have been on with me only, and not just you, every single Congress spokesperson. So I'm sorry. Now this is having double standards. You're trying to save democracy with the very person you have accused of murdering democracy. See, the fact of the matter is, and let's remain practical here, NDA has always been NDA. Even right now, India has a NDA government in power, being led by BJP, because we had the maximum number of MPs. Even today, NDA has one PM candidate. Let's not even discuss PM candidate for 5 minutes. We know they don't have one person. Explain to me, please explain to me, that you are saying that there's no end result of the NDA meet. What is the end result of the I.N.D.I.A meet except to rechristen yourself and give yourself another name? Did you decide how many seats Congress is contesting from? Simple, direct, straight question. Not even asking you about leadership. You are talking about issues that India is facing. Everyone is aware. Everyone is also aware that these issues are worldwide, and these issues are being taken head on by the government of India. Do you have a plan in place? How are you going to combat problems that the whole world is facing, not just India? You are the very same party which is calling itself India Today, but you have given a ticket to the man who's chanted Bharat Tere Tukde Honge. You are that party. So I don't know, hypocrisy dies 1,000 times over when Congress and its allies pick a name like I.N.D.I.A. I'm sorry. And to quote Shakespeare, what's in a name? The ingredients of this does not change.
Okay, Ashpreet, don't you think this accusation is fair enough? Because obviously, when it is about the state level alliance, there is a lot that is amiss between the Congress, between the TMC, Aam Aadmi Party and vice versa.
Thank you. First and foremost, let me clarify a few things. Charu said, that Mr. Modi is the best that they have, is their PM face, and there's nobody in race with him, and many of the BJP spokespersons have been saying such things. Let me tell them one thing, that there are more than a dozen leaders in the opposition unity, I.N.D.I.A, that have much more experience, have a much better vision, and have a lot more to contribute to India than Mr. Modi has. No doubt, no wonder instead, in 9 years, Mr. Modi did not do one press conference in India. He did one abroad, and there was a tough question that was posed to him. And even the two-time former president, Mr. Barack Obama, had to say that ethnic minorities should be talked about in India. So the Bharatiya Janata Party, if you're talking of hypocrisy, just tell me one thing. Why do you have an alliance with the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra? You have been condemning them, criticizing them, and now you have an alliance with them. Now a government with them. Number two, why are you forging an alliance with SAD Samyog? You have been criticizing them. They have been criticizing you for the farm laws, for the 700 farmers that were martyred, for the 6 promises that you made to them. You apologized to them. And out of all those 6, you haven't delivered one till date. It's been more than a year. And number 3, the Bharatiya Janata Party needs to realize one thing. Stop tom-tomming about one versus all, one versus all. If it really was one versus all, you wouldn't have had to call a meeting of your own. And that too, right next to ours, simultaneously. You know it for a fact that the Bharatiya Janata Party is scared and nervous for this. And your own leaders who attended the NDA meet are coming out and saying that we lack synergy, we lack cohesiveness, that we need to do something because, whatever the BJP decides, nobody gets to know in the NDA about that. We need to form WhatsApp groups and whatnot. And you see the Bharatiya Janata Party saying that who's the PM face. Like I said, we have many, many capable leaders, but we happen to be living in a parliamentary form of government, not a presidential form of government, if they know what it means. And number 2, as far as the BJP's decisions are concerned, we know that a single man calls all the shots in the Bharatiya Janata Party. Unlike that, our
but
unity
Ashpreet, as far as the PM face is concerned, I understand that deliberation is going to be
anything I asked
going to be left for later. But I really want to understand, there are certain scoops that are coming out of the opposition meeting that happened over the course of these 2 days in Karnataka. We are given to understand that the formula that has been, in fact, implemented for the government in Karnataka would be the same that could possibly be implemented. I don't know how practical will it be. When you guys say that all the chief ministers of the various states who are now part of this opposition alliance called India are going to be having a chance at the prime ministerial chair, how does it work?
See, one, Charu saying
How
that...
many seats is Congress contesting on?
Charu,
Let him respond, Charu.
Thank you, Charu. We know that BJP is accustomed to suppressing the voice of the opposition.
Please.
Yeah, coming to that.
Yeah.
So please do not suppress our voice here itself, Charu. I request you. Number 1. So let's understand one thing.
No, I'm letting you speak. I mean, it's not like the people of India are listening to you. You can speak on television. That's the only place you have where you can
Opposition unity happens to be a democratic setup.
Okay, Ashpreet, please make your point.
The Bharatiya Janata Party, please. Thank you. Opposition unity, I.N.D.I.A, happens to be a democratic setup. Whatever our majority would decide would be followed by everybody, number 1. Number 2, the BJP doesn't understand discussion. They do not understand consensus. They do not understand what freedom of speech and expression is. So they won't really understand why do we want to have discussion and proper, a channel of communication, a proper common minimum program, because the BJP never has one. A single man would decide everything in their party. Who would be the face, who would be given ticket, who would not be given ticket. No wonder there is not a single Muslim that they have in their cabinet. She was talking of giving cabinet berths to, many states, many communities, etc. How many Muslims do you have in the cabinet? Do you have any answer to that? First question. Number 2, how many tickets have you given to Muslims? Do you have any answer to that? Number 3, how much representation do you have in the cabinet vis-a-vis 6? Negligible representation. Talk of another thing. As far as the inflation is concerned, 45-year high. As far as unemployment is concerned, 50-year high. Highest. As far as the...
No, Ashpreet, but you still did not answer my question. Till when? Even though Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul,
I can answer all of
Rahul
that,
Gandhi have actually gone on record and they said that they are not really interested in having a share in the Prime Minister's chair. When will that leadership face going to become is going to come out as far as India is concerned? Because that will be the serious question. It will not leave you till you answer it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Our unity is a democratic setup. Whatever the majority of our leaders would decide would be followed by everybody. Simple as that. When it happens, everybody would know about it. Unlike the Bharatiya Janata Party, we won't shove it down the throats of other people and other leaders.
Okay.
Number 2, my last point, please. The Bharatiya Janata Party has been tom-tomming about a lot of things, but Charu did not have an answer to my question. You've been tom-tomming that, oh, see, so many parties came to our meet. Charu, how many of them happen to be registered with the Election Commission of India? Do you have an answer to that?
Okay,
Number
Charu,
two,
response. Your response. All right,
give up your
let her
double
respond.
standards. Because they are saying that alliance is a sign of weakness, they say. Alliance is a sign of weakness. Charu, then why are you having to have an alliance of your own?
Okay. He's going
Why
back
do
to
you
the
have to
first
have an
point that he has
NDA?
made. Charu, please respond.
Yeah, you're going around in circles,
doesn't
but
have
yes,
any
I can
answers.
respond. You're definitely going around in circles. And
Because you
Ashpreet,
don't
let
really
me
have
speak.
any answers,
Let
otherwise
me
I wouldn't
speak.
have had
Let me tell you that when you form an alliance, you need to have something in common. And I asked you that. I asked you, what do you have
What do you have
common with
common
Mamta
with
Didi?
Shiv Sena?
Please answer that. Did you not call her a killer of democracy?
What's
Did you not
common
say
between
that?
BJP and
Did
Shiv
you not
Sena?
say that? Can you go back on your words?
What's
no,
common
but
between
Ashpreet,
BJP and
I know
SAP?
you're very disturbed by the fact that
Learning from the
BJP
BJP.
always continues to be in a strong, powerful position
Learning from the
with the
BJP
blessings of the people of India. The real people of India, by the way, not that small list of people you've
If
put
the-
together
if-
and you've decided to name
Okay, let me
India.
come in here. We only have now 2 minutes
leave
left
that
on
out.
the broadcast.
Let's leave that out.
Okay.
But
Okay, you know, Charu, I'd like to understand this one aspect.
Can I finish,
considering,
please?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, finish your
Yeah.
point. Then I would like to bring in the
Yeah.
Nitish Kumar question, please.
She has
yes,
no answer.
no. Ask away, and then I'm going to.
So I
I'm
want
going
to
to answer it all
understand.
in
I
one
want to
go. See, I
understand
want to just,
after these reports really came out that Nitish Kumar is upset, and that's why he left that entire opposition meeting, and then he had to come out with a clarification that there is no truth to all these rumors that are floating around. Why was the BJP quick to jump in and sort of add fuel to the fire where there was none so far? But we all know what Nitish Kumar's reputation has been. How he has been a person who is into doldrums, who can shift his alliance. So there is worry for the opposition also. Is the BJP trying to bank in on that, considering his reputation precedes him?
The BJP is scared and nervous
No,
about
once again,
it.
let
That's what
Charu answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so first of all, it is not simply the BJP which is discussing all this. Everything that the opposition is doing, they're doing it in the public eye. So whether it is the media, whether it is any politically interested person, this has
We know
been
you
the
do it
talk of
under
the
the
town.
table.
So obviously
Actually,
it's
let
going
her
to be
respond.
discussed.
Please.
You're washing your dirty linen in public. If you're upset about something, you could have kept mum and sat there for the meeting. You
Two
were
former
upset enough to
BJP
walk
allies have
out.
joined us.
And this was not the only incident that happened. There were a series of incidents
Two
that
former
happened in
BJP
Patna.
allies have
I
joined
can bring them to the
I.N.D.A.
forefront.
Charu,
There were a
simple
series
pointed
of incidents
question.
that
Is
happened
the
after
BJP
Bangalore as
looking at
well.
placating
See, all
Nitish Kumar because Bihar becomes a very, very important state. Hence, the alliance of the smaller parties are coming out of the state of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. It becomes very, very crucial for the BJP. BJP understands those minute caste calculations very well. Do you think Nitish Kumar becomes a bone of contention? Is the party looking at that? Because that's the accusation that the BJP has to actually go ahead and front.
See, I think for Bharatiya Janata Party, every state is equally important. We have also seen the deteriorating state of Bihar since we stopped being in government. We've seen the way, crime has increased. There is news every day coming out of that state. So when we are looking at a situation which is pro-people, when we are looking at forming a government which is pro-people, everyone who's pro-people has been with the
You were
NDA.
talking of
Throughout,
equal
they have been with
representation.
the
How many
NDA.
Muslims do
I
you have
think
in the
these are worries that the opposition is facing because as it is obviously no
How
one
many
can
Muslims
force
in
anyone to be a
BJP's
part of an
cabinet?
alliance or leave an alliance. Congress gets worried. Congress gets worried
How many
because nobody
Muslims do
stays
you
in
have
their
in the
fold. Now
BJP
people might
cabinet?
leave Congress to
Ashpreet,
join
you have
any
made that point.
political
Let her
party.
respond.
Sometimes it's the BJP, sometimes it's the Samajwadi Party, sometimes it's
What
the TMC,
commonality do you
sometimes
have
it
with
could
the
be any
Shiv Sena?
other Tom, Dick and Harry party
Okay.
in the country.
What
But
commonality
the fact
do you
is
have with
nobody
the
All right,
sticks-
unfortunately,
sticks to
Charu and
this party,
Ashpreet,
and
I
that's
would have to
exactly
let
why
it be.
Ashpreet is getting
That's
so
all the
hyper
time
right
that I
now.
had on the conversation, and it is going to get heated up from here. But Charu and Ashpreet, thank you so much for joining us on Viewpoint. That's it from me. My colleague Shivani Gupta is up next with Plain Speak.